Module 1, Introduction to Maritime Security and Antiterrorism.
This four-part course of instruction provides port facility and ship operator personnel with a comprehensive review of the history of maritime terrorism, crime, and piracy, with a view towards identifying relevant trends for the industry. Upon completion of this program, the student will appreciate the fundamental elements required to perform a threat assessment for either a port or ship. The four parts of this program are Introduction to the Threat, History and Current Trends in Maritime Terrorism, Current Security Threat and Patterns in Maritime Crime and Piracy, and Introduction to Port and Ship Operations and Security Measures. There are numerous notable and relevant examples of security incidents that demonstrate the potential devastation of a terrorist attack. For example, the Santa Maria in 1962, which was really the first event where we saw a seizure of a major ship, in this case a cruise ship. We'll give some of the details of this case later on. The Achille Lauro in 1985. This was indeed a seminal event for cruise line security and was the predicate for the creation of a number of international and U.S. requirements that are associated with the protection of cruise lines both in port and on board the ships. The City of Poros in 1989. Some of you will recall that this was a day-tripping ship that was leaving out of Greece with a number of holiday goers from the UK. When it was attacked by at least 4 terrorists that we know of, carrying weapons on board up to and including grenades. They killed a number of persons and injured over 98 people before they escaped, never being captured. Over the last decade, a number of social issues have attracted radical elements that form militant core groups whose agendas include the use of violence as a tool to achieve their goals. This gives you a good example of the type of vessels that we're now facing with those various maritime activist operations, and there's no mistaking that this is not a pleasure craft. This looks more like a military craft. Animal rights, the environment, and abortion are all issues which have spawned the creation of such militant groups. In 2001, the FBI estimated that an eco-terrorist group, the Earth Liberation Front, was responsible for $37 million worth of property damage over 4 years. As the events of 11 September 2000 have shown, foreign terrorist groups operating in the United States are capable of successfully attacking domestic targets and are willing to inflict mass casualties on civilian targets. Indeed, that's one of the stated intentions of Al-Qaeda. And that's unique because in the past, terrorism, which has typically been described as theater, although theater of a macabre kind, the intention was not necessarily to inflict mass casualties, but to inflict sufficient casualties such that you could capture the attention of your audience and hopefully direct them into a policy that is more in keeping with your stated intentions. But Al-Qaeda has already said that in addition to attacking our economy, destroying our country, they are prepared to kill as many Americans as possible in whatever attacks they happen to launch.